Hello. Let's try to understand in what direction should time really travel on the dial of a watch, clockwise or counterclockwise. We'll do this on the basis of these two Rакета watches. Can you read the time on this watch in less than 5 seconds?
Well, congratulations if you can. If you can't, don't worry. When they see this watch for the first time, it takes people approximately 15 seconds to find the correct time, which is now 10 hours, 21 minutes, and 40 seconds.
This watch has a mechanical movement that makes all the hands turn counterclockwise. You can actually see how the second hand goes in the reverse direction. This complicated movement was developed and manufactured by the Rакета watch factory in St. Petersburg, Russia. Why on earth have these Russian watchmakers decided to make a movement go counterclockwise? But hang on, why on earth did someone decide in the very first place that watch hands should go clockwise? Have you never thought about this? The most common answer is apparently the following. If you're in the northern hemisphere and you make a sundial by planting a stick in the ground, as early people did when clocks didn't yet exist, you'll see the sun traveling clockwise in the sky, from left to right, and the shadow moving on the ground from right to left. The clockwise movement of time was therefore chosen to simply reflect the movement of the sun in the sky and the movement of the shadow on the ground, as we see them standing in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, it would go in the opposite direction. The reason why this very important decision was taken by people in the northern hemisphere is simply because this is where 90% of the world's population has always lived, including the watchmakers who developed clocks. However, the first problem with this decision is that the sun itself doesn't actually move from left to right. It's an illusion. We move around the sun, right? The second problem is that if you take a much higher point of view, somewhere in space far above the sun's northern hemisphere, from where the solar system is usually represented, and you look at the sun and the planets, you'll see a totally different picture. You will see that all the planets rotate counterclockwise around the sun. As a matter of fact, all the planets, except for Venus and Uranus, also rotate counterclockwise around their own axis. Consequently, keeping as a reference the same point of view as early watchmakers, which is the northern hemisphere, the movement of time should really reflect the natural counterclockwise movement in our solar system, and not the illusionary clockwise movement of the sun around the earth. In an age where we all try to live in harmony with nature, wouldn't it be so much better to have a watch where time travels in accordance with the laws of astronomy? This is exactly what this watch does. The Russian engineers of the Rакета watch factory developed a mechanical movement that makes the three hands move away from the big zero towards the left direction following the movement of the planets. You can also see the moon at the tip of the second hand turning counterclockwise around the earth exactly like it does in reality. Rакeta apparently decided that it was time for a new evolution of time reading. From sundials to hourglasses, grandfather clocks to modern watches, they decided to evolve to a new generation of watches that are ahead of their time. Indeed, as mankind will slowly start to colonize the solar system, our future interstellar civilization will logically have a preference for a watch whose rotation will reflect the rotation of the planets that they will see from their spaceships when visiting relatives and other planets across the solar system. As you can see, there seems to be a strong case in favor of time traveling counterclockwise. What do you think? Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching.